right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. There's something I've never shared with you, Eric. One of the reasons I started listening to your old show years ago, and this is going to be like complimentary about me, so this is the best part of the whole email. I started listening to the old show years ago. It wasn't just because it was funny or entertaining. It was because of your honesty. I was always struck by your willingness to admit when you'd gotten something wrong or when you felt you could have handled something better. That kind of ownership is rare. I remember writing you an email back in 2009 after one of those moments, telling you how impressed I was. You wrote back that it made your day, and I've never forgotten that. Thank you, John. Thank you for sharing your family with us over the years. Not everyone understands what you do, and some people gravitate toward the negativity, but for me, your show's always been a bright light. When I was working mobile crisis and later in the ER, seeing death and crisis regularly, I drive home heavy from the overnight shift. Flipping on your show shifted something. Instead of replaying something horrific in my mind, I'd hear, for example, Jackie yelling, "Dad, I gotta go!" And suddenly the world felt normal again, human again. That mattered more than you probably know. Your dad's impact lives on in you, in your humor, your humility, your willingness to be real. I hope you can feel how much he shaped not only your family, but in a small way, people like me who were listening. I'm thinking of you and your entire family. If you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out with love and respect, John. You know, sometimes you run into somebody like John there who can really put it into words. I mean, that was fucking amazing, John. I wish I could do that. The way that's written, it seems like you probably just whipped it out, not your penis, but the words. That was really great, John. I can't thank you enough. And, you saying that type of thing, that some of what makes him rubbed off on me, I would like to think so too. My dad was a charmer, and I didn't realize it at a young age, but my dad's nature, being, he could be in a room full of young women, and I think that they all were like, their ovaries were exploding. Like if my dad walked in and started just chatting people up like he knew them and making them feel comfortable like he did, I think he could have like gone home with all of them. I'm like, because I can't tell you how many times and I wrote about this in one of my posts, that we would encounter somebody, like, let's say you're walking to the grocery store. My dad would be the guy who interact with a guy or a girl, doesn't matter who. And it was so strange because in my head, I'm like, do you know this person? And I might even say that out loud. I go, do you guys know each other? No, I just met him. He would do that. And I'm like, if you try that, most people are going to think that you're a psychopath. Not my dad, man. He had it down. Incredible level of charm. Even up to his final days. Really spectacular. Can't say enough about what made up Dad. So thank you, John. Means a lot. Everything means a lot. I mean, seriously, the uplifting has been fantastic. Alan says, regarding the team, the Capital City Go-Go, he says, go-go blowjob. No, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think you're understanding the premise here. Go-go has to be like, incorporated in something that exists already. You can't just say go-go blowjob on the mic. Maureen says, no one was a stranger to Ruben. Our dad was the same way. He could talk to anyone. All right, I want to touch on my friends over on the Segment 18 Facebook page, which is a Free Beer and Hot Wings Show fan page. After I posted an update about Dad, someone saw that and they announce, hey, I think this is happening. And they worded it a little weird. It's fine. I don't care. The folks on that page they take the things that I say when I rip on their show incredibly personally. And I guess that's a testament to them, to their show. These people love them. So you have various people with, who are searching for Pokemon and getting ready for the Ren Fair, and with line beards. They also have some great souls, and I love them for that. Because Jason Van Order wrote, I just saw on another post that our constant thorn in the side of this group, Zane, lost his dad last night. Now, everything there is true. Now, I know there are going to be people, Jason writes, in here that flat out don't care. But I think we should all take a moment and put aside our differences. Like him or hate him, he is still part of why the show is what it is today, like it or hate it. Well, that's kind of true. I think it should say, though, to be accurate, like him or hate him, he is the reason why the show is what it is today. That would be an accurate statement. But I'm not going to quibble over details. This person adds, on that note, Eric Zane, if you happen to come across this post, I would like to offer my sincerest condolences and will keep you and your family in my thoughts over these next couple of days. And I'm like, that is so sweet. And I'm very appreciative of that. I would say 95% amazing comments. See, the way this works is it's boring to read out sweet entry on the comments after sweet entry. That is not entertaining. You got to go to the mean ones. And there are a few, and I love them. Okay? It's those moments that when I'm sitting there weeping and sobbing and writing a eulogy and realizing that my dad I'm going to see him, not going to be a long time till I see him again, and I will see him again, that these hate comments have brought me back, and I'm so appreciative of them. Anyway. Will writes, I hate listening to a show when I'm all caught up in the podcast. Most of the time, I can't believe how stupid and wrong he is. Sometimes he says something funny, but first it was a beloved pet, now a parent. You see, I really love how that group kicks my ass while they're telling me how sad they are for me. All right. R.I.P. Sorry for your loss. Whatever. Sean, regardless if you dislike the person or not, he still lost his dad. Imagine losing someone and someone said, I don't care. Pretty disrespectful, right? Don't be that person. Keep those comments to yourself. Sorry for your loss, Mr. Zane. Sean, I appreciate you. Grant says, deep down, I know Eric is a good guy, no matter his outward actions. Sorry for your loss, Zane. It sucks losing a parent at any age. Now, I don't know what he means by that because my outward actions are godlike. I'm not God, but I do talk to him. And God told me himself he wanted me to save Jeffrey's life, and I did that. Now, if he's referring to, like, when I bust balls, look, that's the Lord's work. Do you think for 1 second that baby Jesus is in heaven going, man, that Free Beer and Hot Wings show is great? No. He hates that show because it's so poor. He has ears, baby Jesus does, and the ability to discern what is good and bad. I'm merely pointing it out and having fun in an attempt to make that show entertaining. That's what I'm telling myself. It seems to work. Matt says, I never laughed so hard as the day they played the dead hamster story. He means the day I told the dead hamster story. I don't think he's referring to the one that I had to euthanize. There's more than one hamster story, and one of them involves my dad. It'll come up at some point. Don't know if it's going to come up in the next day or so. Paula says a prayer. May Eric Zane and his beloved family and friends find comfort, peace, and compassion in this difficult time. That's so sweet. Thank you. Jesse says no one should be happy when someone loses a family member. It's true. Now, what doesn't count for that is dancing pallbearers, because we love the dancing pallbearers. Roger says whether we like it or not, we're all in this world together. The thing that makes us great is the ability to completely disagree with each other and still support each other at the same time. Well, that's the thing. No one disagrees with me. They just don't like it. Will Monroe wrote, I feel sorry for his lose. Come on, Will. It's L-O-S-S, not L-O-S-E. You got to understand, these are not the brightest audience members. Anyway. Dan says, I listened to this guy when I started my family. Look past his shtick, and he's just a guy. Anonymous participant 368 wrote, nah, fuck that guy. There was another really bad one that I actually got secondhand embarrassment over. I don't know if I can see it. No, I can't. Anyway, somebody wrote something really bad. I don't even want to say. Because if I say it, it might even make my beloved family upset. And I don't want to do that. Anyway, it's just somebody being an asshole. But there was this guy, and I was shocked at this. I was like, what is going on here? There was some guy named Brian Graff who, when that post that I was just reading to you went out on their page, Brian wrote, meh, he mocked my house fire and can kick rocks. I hope he's sad. So I was like, what the hell? What did I do? I mocked his house fire. Alan says, you mean Will Monroe? You mean you? Exactly. I am Will Monroe. I wrote that. Megan says, Easy, I don't think baby Jesus hates anything, but I think he'd prefer listening to Easy. Well, look, when it comes to, like, entertainment, you can say that you hate something. Even baby Jesus, like, if he sees Alex Jones, he's going to say, oh, God, I love Alex Jones because I love everybody, but I hate this show. No, it's okay. Trust me. Anyway, stand by. It says I mocked his house fire. Now, I don't know the context of this. Now, he wrote it like more than once. He kept coming back on that post, and they're all gone now because I think I humiliated him, which is good. You know? I don't know anything about this. I'm sure it did happen, but I would need, like, why? What would cause me to do that? Because a lot of people think that I just go around looking for trouble and just let somebody have it for no particular reason. And that is absolutely not the case at all. I have always waited for people who are the opposition to get sideways. And it's the second they do, you know the policy. They go low, I go lower. I didn't seek this fight out. The fight came to me. And I always win. I've never lost, ever. So I can only imagine what I said. It obviously stuck with Brian here. who looks like he's had a hard life. He's one of those guys, with like mottled skin and looks like he got, mauled by a dog and might only be like 30, but he looks like he's 60. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, how am I going to address this? And then a day passed, and then he kept talking, and I said, all right, I think I figured out what I want to say. So I posted, hi, friends, so thankful for Brian Graff for helping me feel, quote-unquote, normal. Mixed in with the outpouring of love was Brian's comment. Apparently, I, quote, mocked him over his house fire, so I had to investigate further. See below. And so he wrote that, and then underneath it, I wrote this. When he said, he mocked my house fire and can kick rocks, I hope he's sad. I said, hey, Brian, I don't recall the mocking over a house fire. I'm sure it happened, but I need more info. For context, question 1, did you intentionally start the fire? If you did, see Billy Joel's song. Corny joke, I know, but the question is of him actually starting the fire, suggesting that he may have committed arson, and I made fun of him over that. That's a little bit more of a hokey joke, but I'm probably sobbing when I wrote the joke. Well, now that kind of led to, you're going to get some bounce back, and that's a good thing. You're going to get comments. You're going to get good and bad comments. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, I looked at that dude's picture, and I definitely remember seeing that pic. Same thing. I remember seeing it too. So there must have been some interaction before. Borculo Josh says, was it in the news and you mocked it? No. I guess it's possible, but I don't think so. I don't know how I would have known that guy had a house fire. Maybe it did. Maybe I'd interacted with him on that page and he was in the news because of a house fire. And let's be honest. Most people that are victims of house fires, they're generally losers. Poverty-stricken because they, for whatever reason, drink too much. Maybe they do drugs. Maybe they've been incarcerated. They can't keep a job. Don't have enough money to replace the batteries and the smoke detectors. Definitely don't have a fire extinguisher nearby. Like if you were to go in the annals of the news in your community and look at like the news coverage of all the local fires. Typically when homes burn, they're shit. And then you have to add the element of it might be the type of scumbag who sets this place on fire himself. So I don't think I'm saying anything out of school when I say that if anyone is a victim of a house fire, you're probably a huge piece of shit in the first place. So, if they were doing news coverage about, like, my neighbor here, he's got a $700,000 house. If his house burns down, the news should say, all right, authorities are now ruling out arson, and this is obviously not a loser like we normally talk about because he's got a $700,000 house. So, there you go. But if you're in one of these hard living areas, and the house is a fucking cardboard box, 4 space heaters and a power strip, pretty good chance the shit could hit the fan. You look at the guy, he's got one eye, barbecue sauce on his T-shirt, 3 different kinds. This is all part of the healing. This is all part of me getting back up to speed. So after I posted that, I then started to feel more comfortable. Chris Barrett, I remember that name. He's been a guy who doesn't like me for some time, but he always responds to my posts. He says, "Hey, I'm on Brian's side here," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, me too. Cardboard boxes ignite easily." And then this guy Jim, actually Nick says, "I saw this." Nicholas David says, "I saw this. I was wondering what he said about you first." Exactly. Bob in PA says, "Didn't light it, but tried to fight it. Those trailer park fires can be quite devastating." Precisely. And then this cat, Jim, I don't know what his deal is. He wrote, "Wow. Even in the hour of mourning, he's an asshole." Which, if you remember on the post, I said, I'm thankful for Brian for helping me feel normal. Mixed in with the outpouring of love was Brian's comment. Okay? So again, I didn't do it. It came to me. He just can't shut his fucking mouth. I can't wait. And then he wrote, "I can't wait until he has no control and response to this. Every time he responds, it justifies his termination. Loudmouth bitch boy. Attack now, Easy. You're just predictable. You're that predictable." And I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me I can't respond to this? What are you talking about? So I wrote, "Easy, big fella. No need for hate. It's all in good fun." Which is true. That's good fun. It's good for me. He wrote, "Proof you can't shut your mouth." And I wrote, "Well, I like responding to people on Facebook. I'm glad you're here. I have no idea what you're so mad about." And I still don't. Andrew wrote, "Compassion is free. Everyone's going through shit. People shouldn't be such a douchebag to others. The end." And I'm like, 100%. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the words I live by. And you're like, no, you don't. No, it's true. I'm not going to go up. Okay. Let's say Greg's significant other is mourning after Greg's plane crashes. Am I going to go and say, yeah, you know what? Fuck him. Hell no. Hell no. I would never do that. It's ridiculous to even suggest that. A joyous funeral celebration with dancing pallbearers, different. That's all I'm saying. You're right. You don't. Everybody is going through shit. You kind of cross that line when you take it to that level. But whatever. I can handle that. And that's about it. Let's see. Alan says when you shit, Alan R says when you shit all over everything all the time, sometimes it splashes back on you. Now, I'm not sure if he's talking about me or him. And I can understand why anybody could suggest that what I do is shitting all over everything all the time. That is complete bullshit because I do not do that. And I don't even know if Alan means that. I'm assuming he does. Show of hands in the chat room. Is Alan talking about me with the descriptor, when you shit all over everything all the time, sometimes it splashes back on you? I'm assuming he's talking about me. Couldn't be further from the truth. I do not shit all over everything, nor do I do it all the time. Both of those things aren't true. Occasionally, I will fire off a well-placed joke, which is not shitting all over everything all the time. Farthest thing from that. I am a kind, compassionate soul. So I responded with, actually, I did not respond to that one. Somebody responded for me. Speaking from experience, and Alan said, we've all had diarrhea in our lives. Not all of us make a career of it. Oh, yeah, he's definitely talking about me. Well, all right, I just say scoreboard when it comes down to that. If there's anybody who is suggesting that and can feel compelled on a post about the passing of my father to drop that type of information, that tells me job well done. I am not guy to look at anybody that says something horrible about me after the passing of my father and says, hey, that's out of bounds. You can't say that. First of all, it's impossible to hurt my feelings. Just doesn't work. It's a futile effort. You're wasting your time, energy, and breath. I just don't do it. It actually is wind in my sails, because what that tells me, and has always told me that if at a time like this, just by announcing on my page that my beloved father has passed away, can cause someone on another page to post about it, and people who don't like me are compassionate and kind, that's awesome. And it also means people who are psychopaths will then say something horrible about the passing of my father. Again, whether it's good or bad, what I pull out of someone does not matter. I will always pull something out of someone. Some type of response, positive or negative. I don't care which one. My job is to pull it out of you and make you think, wow, that's an interesting thing to talk about. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here to do anything more than just to provide a little bit of time for you to listen or watch and say, I can handle listening to this. This is fun. So that's it. I'm very, very thankful that what I do for a job has prompted people to do that, good or bad. Tophus, who has a way with words too, he says some people deal with grief differently. Fuck them and their judgy poverty asses. Tophus says if your house is a lean-to and it burns to the ground, you're probably a piece of shit. Donut Dan says most of those people whose houses burn down don't have insurance either. Yeah, if you're a loser whose house burns down, okay, you're the type of dummy who's going to hang on to that for the rest of your life. So you go to order food at Burger King. Hey, welcome to the home of the Whopper. What can I get you? Well, Whopper. And oh, by the way, my house burnt down. Can I have a discount? I will be after noon, period. And what I mean by that is after 12. That is Bert, the process server, who I've become quite chummy with. Bert, the process server, is salt of the earth. And I was served last week, but it turns out that the people who wanted me served, they didn't give me enough time. In Michigan, you have to do it 14 days, and the folks who served me, it was 7 days. Mix in the fact that my dad died, so everything changes now on that. The can has been kicked further down the road. So then poor Bert has to come out. I think we may have a glitch in the Twitch stream right now. Numerous comments indicate so. I am hoping that it reconnects. Megan says, uh-oh, Twitch glitch. Bread Bull Brain Chris is here. He says, they got to him. David drops, uh-oh. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and hopefully it'll come back. I think it's back now. sorry to those of you that are watching the live stream. I'm going to keep the stream going today on all my platforms because I'm sure a lot of people want to hear, just some of the things that have transpired over the last several days. But now I think it's important also getting back to Dad and Joanne. With Dad's passing, now we got to really, really hunker down and make sure that we keep my beloved stepmothers, who I don't even like. Again, I don't like calling these people step anything, but that's to avoid the confusion on the show. I often use that. But do know that with the folks that are known as my stepsisters and my step mother, these are sisters and my mother. That's what I refer to them as. And I'm blessed, Honestly, when it comes down to it, it isn't every situation like this one where there's a remarriage and it works out positively. Like when it comes to my stepsisters/sisters and my stepmother, it's like I can't wait to see them again. They're really great. They're just fantastic. We've always done very well together. We've always gotten along very, very well. Bert is blowing up my phone. Okay, Bert. Cannot wait to give you more information on the proceedings going on right now. It's one of the more hilarious things. Excuse me. It's important that we uplift Joanne, and that will be the goal. You don't want her too long alone with her own thoughts, and I'm just grateful that she is next door to Jim and Sue. Come on, Bert, you're killing me, man. I kind of want to end it. I kind of want to quit right now because I don't want to like dive into a bunch of stories and shit like that. I think I will do that. I do want to mention my sponsors, though, and there will be a Patreon bonus podcast today. Ben and Brett are leaving for Las Vegas this week. So, unfortunately, this will be 2 weeks in a row that we can't do a big fraud show on Patreon, and that breaks my heart because I've been sitting on this wealth of material for Who Are These Free Beers, show number 89, but I can't, and the next Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. But Ben's going to Las Vegas with Brett, and I'm like, you are? I guess it's like, is this one of those super gay guys weekends? Is that how this is? I've never done that. And all the time I've been married, which is about 1 billion years, I've never once done a guys weekend. That sounds horrible. Yeah, so he's off to Vegas. So we're going to miss. I apologize. I remember one time I went to a bachelor party and I just hated my life. It was, I think it was producer Joe that he was getting married. And oh my God, everybody's shit-faced. It was at Gun Lake. Not the casino, like there was an actual residence on Gun Lake. And they're like using jet skis and everybody's drunk. And I'm like waiting for somebody to die. That's the only entertaining thing because everybody's shit-faced operating machinery. Which I think that's like illegal. I don't think you can operate like a jet ski or a boat if you're drunk. Excuse me. Okay. I guess it's the what's known as 311 day. Oh, it's that 311 day Ben always does. He always does. I don't remember. Really? Stevie says, isn't it this Sunday, March 8th, that our pal Mike Pellerito is performing at Bob's Barn? I think it is. And I'm understanding now that I think his brother is going to be there as well. Megan said to me, easy, it's probably not going to be as much fun. So, I kind of agree with that. I think we may have caught lightning in a bottle. Like, I don't know how much more embarrassing we can get with Pellerito, with Mike, when it comes to his performances, than when he performed the song Hook by Blues Traveler. Remarkably pitchy. Did not know the words. His guitar was intensely out of tune. And he didn't know the words so much, so he started to just go. Murder Lover Linda says, I finally just got it out of my head. Got what out of your head?
Sucking, nobody's killing me.
I had little titties in the past.
Titties right in the past. Titties right in the past.
I'm titties in the past.
Titties right in the past.
I think it's titties pray to pass.
Titties right in the past.
Afraid to pass?
Titties right in the past.
I'm titties afraid to pass.
Titties right in the past.
Suck it in and suck it in.
Suck it in, suck it in.
And then it's
Suck it in, suck it in. Nobody's killing me. Titties right in the past.
I came for her titties and her ass, says Piano Finger Banger.
Nobody's killing me.
I love this. The la la la. He actually said la la la. God. I give that man a lot of props to get that much of a beating and then still agree to get out in the open with his carabiner and 50 keys and stupid guitar that's out of tune, doing that. I mean, that's deep. I wouldn't do that. Of course, I wouldn't get out in public in the first place if I sounded that shitty. I mean, now maybe there's a chance that guy gets some singing lessons and one day he has the ability to sing. But you can't, like, get in front of a microphone and in front of a webcam and a bunch of old timers who are about to die and do this. You know, that's several moments of the song made into one supercut, but it actually sounds like the guitar is on point.
Nobody's killing me.
I don't think he changed chords once in there. He's just hitting the fucking strings. Wow. Tophus says he butchered a good song, too. Oh, one of the best. One of their best. Hook by Blues Traveler. Poor Mike. All right. I just got an urge to sneeze. Stand by. Oh, my God. It's painful. I'm going to drop a ton of sponsors on you. I want you to get your hair cut at King's Room Barbershop. They've got 3 locations. They've got one, Standale. No, that's not right. Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street. Get a haircut there. It's going to cost you $21, $18 if you're retired or active military. Frank Fuss says reach out to him when it comes to insurance from the marketplace. Frank can help you get all of your ducks in a row. And all you need to do is go to appointmentwithfrank.com. Some folks have to get their insurance from the marketplace like I do. Folks who are business owners, self-employed, I should say. Maybe their boss does not offer insurance, or they're a loser who might have their house catch on fire because they have no job. You still need health care. So go to appointmentwithfrank.com, and he'll help you set it up. Appointmentwithfrank.com. Rick over at TC Paintball's been a little bit under the weather. I think he just got back to work. I'm glad to hear that. I don't want to say too much because he didn't give me the okay. But book a paintball adventure at TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. Whether it's your friends in your workplace, bachelor party, neighborhood get-together, TC Paintball has everything you need for an outstanding time. Book some time today. Come as you are to TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. I got a great place for you to get your car fixed, and that is Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Get your car fixed there. If you've got an EV, they're experts. How about a hybrid? That's their bag, too. They can do all these things. The local dealerships take their drop their cars off there when they can't fix them. You know, sometimes somebody buys a car and says, oh, my God, hey, it's not working. Fix it. What did I buy, a lemon? Like, no, it's good. We'll fix it. They can't fix it. They take it over to Irvine's. ervines.com. Finally, if you need to get rid of a tree that's unwanted in West Michigan, you call Kuiper Tree Care. Call or text 616-828-8225. That's 616-828-8225. Get rid of an unwanted tree. Have the stump ground down. They take care of that. How about storm damage? They'll clean it up for you. Tree trimming. They can do that. Tree risk assessment with their 3 certified arborists. They will help you get that taken care of. Again, 616-828-8225. Last time I did an asshole of the day, because I think I abruptly left you on Thursday. Yes. I think it was one of those shows where I went, uh-oh, gotta go. I gotten some information that was not good, and that's why I bailed on you for the second time. Where is my marker? I have shit everywhere here, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to spill something. Okay, what is this? This is a subpoena. That's a water bill. Where the fuck is a marker? Hell, I can't find it. Screw it. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you so much. And I will be doing a Patreon bonus podcast today. If you'd like to sign up for free on my Patreon, you can do that for 7 days at patreon.com/Eric Zane. I cannot thank you enough. By the way, special thanks, Sarah Rookrock-Roosh. You're just amazing. I love you. You're all great. And thanks for all the support to the family. To all of us here. Glad to be back, and more podcasting a little bit later on. Godspeed, Dad. Thank you, Francis. Love you.